Let me turn back now to the breaking news that we reported at the top of the show. The Senate just officially voted to avoid a potentially disastrous railway worker strike. This comes after the House voted to avoid the strike and ratify a tentative deal between the train companies and rail worker unions, despite the objections of several of those rail unions, specifically over the issue of a lack of sick days in the agreement. The situation put some pro-union Democrats in a tough spot because it would basically overrule some of the union workers' demands. House Democrats tried to address some of those concerns by taking up a separate bill that would add 7 days of sick leave to the contract. That bill was not voted on today in the Senate, but a similar amendment introduced by Senator Bernie Sanders did fail to reach the 60-vote threshold. Ali Vitale joins me now from Capitol Hill. So, Ali, this was never a question of whether this bill would pass. It was sort of in what form would it pass? And was there, I'm curious, any Republicans vote with Sanders on this amendment?
Yeah, there were a few of them, 6 if I'm reading my notes correctly, because there were several in this series of votes. But among them who voted in favor of paid sick leave, Josh Hawley, Ted Cruz, Kennedy of Louisiana, Graham, Braun, and Rubio, to the point where Sanders, after he left the floor, said to Cruz in a joking way, "I knew you were a socialist." So a little bit of comedy here on the floor, despite the fact that Sanders did not get the amendment that he and other Democrats were pushing for 7 days of paid sick leave, which is more than the one that's in this newly ratified proposal. But yeah, you're right. This puts some pro-union Democrats in a really tough spot, to the point where at the end of the day, the only Democrat who voted against the paid leave portion of this was actually Joe Manchin. But you're right. On the underlying bill, ratifying and being able to avoid this strike, that passed through in bipartisan fashion, as many expected it to.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.